Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Some regions in the country, including Metro Manila, are showing a negative COVID-19 growth rate. Will this point to a COVID-free Christmas season? Faith Del Mundo is now reporting to us live from Quezon City to give us more details on this. So Faith, could you tell us what is the latest? Are we going to have a COVID-19 free Christmas this time around?
Yes, Charles, while majority of the regions are lagging a negative COVID-19 growth rate, there are still areas considered by the Health Department as higher risk. In today's Laging Handa briefing, Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Berjeda said COVID infections in Metro Manila, Calabarzon, and Region 3 are slowly moving down. So data shows that these regions are registering a negative growth rate for the past 2 weeks. Berjeda also noted that the reproduction number in these areas have decreased, meaning it will take more than one COVID-infected person to transmit the virus to another. The Health Department projects that cases will dip further by November 15 and will average at 1,100 daily. If the town trend continues, it will be possible to ease restrictions by Christmas time. In terms of hospital utilization rate, total beds and ICU are still at high risk in the Cordillera region, regions 2 and 9, and Caraga. Other areas with high-risk bed utilization rates are Mimaropa, Metro Manila, Calabarzon, regions 3, 5, 11, and 12, and the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region. Charles Berjeda explains that while cases are going down and admissions are dropping, hospitals remain congested, particularly in ICUs where COVID patients would usually stay for at least 21 days. She reminds the public to continue observing health protocols. Charles?
Thanks for that, Faith. That was Faith Del Mundo reporting live from Quezon City. The government is easing quarantine protocols for inbound travelers coming from green and yellow listed countries. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez gives us a front seat to the story.
After more than a year, the IATF is finally relaxing the rules for incoming passengers. Effective October 8, fully vaccinated passengers coming from green and yellow list countries will only be required to do facility-based quarantine for a minimum of 5 days. Then they will be swabbed. If they test negative, they can finish the rest of the quarantine at home. This is much shorter than the 7 and 10-day requirement before. On the other hand, unvaccinated or partially vaccinated passengers will still have to undergo quarantine at a facility for 7 days with swab testing on the 7th day. If they test negative, they can be sent home for another week of quarantine. In this setup, the burden is on the Bureau of Quarantine to strictly monitor passengers' health.
Dapat yakin ng Bureau of Quarantine ang striktong symptom monitoring habang nasa facility ang pasahero. Sa kaso ng mga dayuhan o foreign nationals, kinakailangan makakuha sila ng sariling pre-booked accommodation na hindi bababa sa 6 na araw para sa fully vaccinated.
According to Trade Secretary Mon Lopez, this should help bring in more investments.
More importantly, yung mga investors, mamumuhunan na gustong pumunta po dito, actually nadi-discourage sila pag naririnig nila noon na 14 days quarantine. In a way, nakaka-apekto rin yan sa paglago, pag-recover natin.
There's an extra step though. Travelers will need to present proof of vaccination. For OFWs and their families, they will need a certificate from the Philippine Overseas Labor Office in their country of origin. For Filipinos or foreigners who got their jobs in the Philippines, they will need a VaxCert PH digital certificate or the yellow BOQ issued international certificate of vaccination. And for non-OFWs and foreigners vaccinated abroad, a digital certificate from a foreign government which has a reciprocal arrangement with the Philippines is required. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez, We Are One News.
Cusi wing of PDP-Laban downplays talks of a possible substitution after Senator Bato de la Rosa filed his Certificate of Candidacy or COC for president. Speaking on the big story, PDP-Laban membership committee head Pastor Naik maintained that de la Rosa will be the ruling party's presidential bet in 2022. Naik added that Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte is an unlikely candidate for substitution, as she is not part of PDP-Laban.
Unang-una, Sara Duterte is not yet a party member for now. Hindi naman po siya nag-rejoin sa partido because she concentrated on their local party. So hindi naman pwedeng mag-substitute sa isang kandidato namin ang hindi miyembro ng partido.
Sumusubaybay na dyan eh. Plano nila yan.
Meanwhile, speaking on 1PH sa totoo lang, the Vice President's spokesperson, Attorney Barry Gutierrez, that they're no longer minding the moves of other parties.
Maraming
Gutierrez added
salamat.
that they're focused on harnessing the support Benny Robredo received after announcing the presidential candidacy in 2022.
Sa totoo lang, hindi kami masyadong sumusubaybay na dyan eh. Plano nila yan, kung gusto nila magdrama, kung gusto nila, kung seryoso sila, sila yan. Sa dulo, magtutuos lahat tayo sa kampanya at sa eleksyon, di ba?
Yeah.
Ang focus namin ngayon, papaanong maha-harness ng maayos yung napakalaki at umaapaw na suporta at pagsalubong sa deklarasyon ni VP Lenny.
A political analyst says local politicians have a crucial role in sustaining the campaign of national candidates. Political analyst Will Pareño explained that presidential aspirants need to build a strong base at the local level to boost their election bids. Pareño, however, warned that the presidential candidate must not put all of his trust in local candidates.
Kaya isang wise presidential candidate should have his or her own organization parallel doon sa organization ng mga so-called political allies niya. Dahil at the end of the day, kaya mag-betray yun eh. Dahil all politics is local.
Some of the country's top medical groups expressed support for the Senate's inquiry into the government's pandemic spending. In a statement, the medical community backed the Senate's probe in order to seek the truth and crush corruption that has severely crippled society. They added that public officials must be held accountable to the people and must serve them with utmost responsibility, integrity, loyalty, and efficiency. Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The Commission on Human Rights pays tribute to its chairman, Chito Gascon, after his sudden passing due to COVID-19. The CHR said Gascon's leadership has inspired and nurtured a culture of empowering and a safe environment that moves CHR personnel to serve with genuine compassion and integrity. It added that Gascon was unwavering and unflinching in his fight for freedom, truth, and justice in pursuit of human rights. Pag-asa says Tropical Storm Maring maintains its strength while moving west-northwestward over the West Philippine Sea. Maring was last spotted some 820 kilometers east of Virac in Catanduanes while moving west-northwestward. Tropical Depression Nando, meanwhile, slightly weakens as it continues to accelerate west-southwestward. Nando was last spotted some 930 kilometers east of Central Luzon. And in the PBA, it was the Meralco Bolts and TNT Tropang Giga that came out on top in Game 3 of their respective semifinal series. A depleted Meralco squad managed to power through against the Magnolia Hotshots 91-86 to snatch their first win in the semis. TNT, meanwhile, dominated the San Miguel Beermen en route to a 115-98 victory to take a 2-1 series lead. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star and Business World online. You can also check out our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. And you can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.